Hi guys, my name is Rebecca with Rebecca Merker Design. I'm a jewelry design company or brand. And I wanted to come up here and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about saturated markets. Being in the jewelry industry, I know a lot about saturated markets. And one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about it is because earlier today I did a joint live view with on Instagram with Miss Lynette Kincaid. We talked about saturated markets and tips on how you can stand out in saturated markets. And one of the big things that I wanted to come up here and talk about is I wanted to help change your view of what a saturated market looks like. A lot of times when we're thinking about markets, we're thinking about the people that are coming into these markets, the other vendors, how customers are coming in. We think in our individual markets. We always kind of gear towards what are we doing in our market and how many people are in our market. And so sometimes we don't look at the model that other markets set for us and the standards that they've already set and utilize those standards in our businesses. And so the big thing that came to mind, and I explained a little bit in the live video that I will be sharing on my page. The big thing that comes to mind for me is the drink industry. I know that sounds weird, and you guys are going to be like, that's weird. Why are we talking about the drink industry? You're a jewelry designer. It is different, all right? But if you look at the drink industry and you're just looking at the business perspective of it, the drink industry is probably one of the most saturated markets out there. We think in jewelry and art, we think lashes and lip gloss, I think, are the popular ones right now. We think in trying to think of other saturated markets, and there are a ton of them out there. Even woodworking is getting really popular right now. Engraving, pretty much anything where a lot of people jump into that market and they're selling things and they're getting out there. Those are saturated markets, like makeup. Makeup's one of the large saturated markets out there. But the drink industry is a little bit different. All right. The drink industry is a saturated market that has been a saturated market for a very, very long time. They have their top name brands. We all know about, Pepsi, Coke, Dr. Pepper, Capri Sun. I don't have to tell you what those are because we've all recognized the commercials. They're literally in between every TV show. If you're still watching, they're up on our computer screens. Lord forbid we're looking at a drink and we will get like 20 Coke commercials up here, part of their target marketing. When we're looking at that, though, and we're looking at these large brands, one of the things that will give us an idea on how to model our marketing and our markets in general is looking at the small brands that are competing with them. There are small brands of drinks in every single store. Every single one, whether we're talking, I live in the South, so whether we're talking Publix, we're talking about, 7-Eleven, we're talking Winn-Dixie. If you're talking Kroger, I believe is if you're in the North, Whole Foods, you know, you can jump on Amazon and see them. There are small drink brands in every single one of them. The ones that I like here, and I'm not certain how small they are, but Dr. Brown's is in a lot of the mom and pop stores around where I am. Their drinks are absolutely delicious. Their brands are the same brand, or their flavors are the same flavors that you can get if you are buying from Coca-Cola or Pepsi. They taste different, depending on it, a little bit at least. But it's the same flavors. And you'll look at that with Coca-Cola and Pepsi as well. They rebrand the same flavors every couple decades. They continue to create the same flavors and then they market those flavors as the newest thing. If we're thinking about Pepsi and Coca-Cola has both done it, they have both rebranded putting natural sugar into their drinks. They completely rebranded it. They put it back out on the market. This is natural cane sugar. You can only get this now. Bring in a taste of the past, that kind of thing. They remarketed that to us, and we bought it. That's something that we need to think about when we're thinking of our brands, especially when we're small brands. But even if you're a larger brand and you're looking at this video and you're wondering, well, what are we talking about? That's what we're talking about. Those larger brands that have been doing this over and over and over again. And they've pretty much made the marketing strategy. And a lot of us don't even look at it. They come out with new flavors every now and again, but a lot of their business is from tried and true flavors. How many people out here drink Coca-Cola, the natural stuff? Drink regular Pepsi? I drink both, I like both of them. How many of us have tried a Capri Sun even if we're not kids anymore? I mean, we still pick up the original favorites. We still have those, and they've been selling them for so long. They're in every single commercial. If you're in America and you're watching the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl halftime show, the drink brands are out there and they're advertising. And it's not that anybody's going to forget them. It's that they want to be in the public's eye all the time so that when you are going to grab a drink, you're going to grab a Coke. Well, the smaller brands in the drink industry, like I was saying, they jump in and do the same thing. They compete with Coca-Cola, they compete with Pepsi, they're competing with Capri Suns if they're a flavored drink along those lines. They're jumping out there, but instead of going for, say, the Super Bowl, not that it wouldn't be cool if they got into the Super Bowl as a halftime show, but instead of doing that, they're available at your mom and pop stores. They're available at the small corner store that most of us don't even think about, but we go in there and we're like, oh, I've never tried this brand before. They still get business. They're not worried that Coca-Cola's already in that store. They're not worried that Pepsi's already in that store. They want you to drink their drink. And so they market with a beautiful label on there, something eye-catching, flashy colors. They're not worried about those bigger brands already in there because they see the example they set and they want to be in front of you. And so they put their drinks in there. They contact the local businesses in their area. As people in smaller industries or different industries, that is something that we can do. As a jewelry designer, I know a lot of people who get into jewelry design and they're trying to figure it out. And they're like, well, who do I market to? I can only market online. And then how do I get people to my website? How do I get people to my Instagram? Some of the things that you completely neglect, that we completely neglect, is looking at our local stores and looking where we can be. And then it goes into, well, how do I get into those stores? And I got to tell you, it is honestly the easiest thing to reach out. It can be disheartening because you have to reach out to a million and one people, but that's pretty much what business is. You might get 10 no's for that one yes, and that one yes could mean the world. So when we're thinking about it and we're thinking about who do we reach out to, we look for the small boutique style stores in our area. We look for a store that's going to fit the brand that we are building. So for my stuff, it's a nicer quality fashion jewelry that I work very hard on. I reach out to boutique style stores. I reach out to people that are selling new things. I don't necessarily reach out to people that are selling used or older things. I reach out to pretty much anybody that's going to listen to me. I've reached out to a bakery because they sell certain home goods there. Pretty much anybody that's going to sit down with you, have a conversation. They might look over your poster or flyer if you bring that in. That's something you can still do, even during COVID, even with everything else going on. You can still bring in flyers and posters. You can send emails. You can make phone calls. These businesses are open, even if you don't see them open. And you might be lining up the next great brand that they need to keep their business running. These are examples from industries like the drink industry where they keep going. They don't stop just because there's a pandemic and they're worried that they're not going to be able to make it further. It's not that you shouldn't have other plans in place. It's always great to have other plans in place, but don't let your business fall through, because part of being a saturated market like the jewelry industry and makeup and art is getting out there and being the person that they call. You want to be the trusted brand. You want to be the trusted person. You want to be the one that they call and they get the owner. If you were to message me on my website, you would get me. If you were to message me on my Instagram, on my Facebook, if you were to message me here on YouTube, you would get me. And you want to be that person. You want to be the person where you know what's happening in your business. Even if they're not talking directly to you, the person they're talking to, they see your vision. They know what you want in your business. You're a direct contact even through them. So generally, I just wanted to come out here. And again, I'm Rebecca Merker with Rebecca Merker Design. And I just wanted to share with you guys that even in a saturated market, even in a market where there are tons of other people getting out there, you have options for what you can do to make you stand out. If you want to follow my video channel or jump onto my Instagram, each one of my profiles is at Rebecca Merker Design. So you can always find me. You can also Google search me and they will all pop up. So you can easily find them. If you follow those, I do show some examples. A lot of my stuff is my products, but then a lot of it is also talking to creators, talking to other businesswomen, businessmen, getting out there and explaining on my business prides itself on being transparent. So if there's information that you want or anything that you are interested in, don't hesitate to comment down below. Let me know what's happening. Let me know what you think. Or if you have any tips or ideas. I didn't go through any tips or ideas in here because the live video that I did earlier today, I'm going to be posting up there. And we did add a bunch of tips and videos and answer questions on that as well. So if you're watching that also and you just want to comment or you had something pop in your head, that's a big thing. Go ahead and let us know. Put it in the comments. I'll reach out to you if it's a question that you have from Lynette when you're watching the videos. I can reach out to Lynette and she will come on here and reach out to you as well. Have a great night.